And of course, one last thing we should definitely point out is that our runners can't.
They won't be able to hear us. So all the crap that I talk about Andy.
С этого места реально выглядит так, как будто парень говорит в ананас. Если заменить все микрофоны ананасами, скорее всего, на ГДК, то они будут работать лучше, чем в тот самый момент. И мы близко к началу.
Начинаем, да? Пока не начали, я хочу еще раз всем пожелать приятной ночи. Модераторам, комментаторам сил и успехов. А вам, друзья мои, приятного просмотра.
И скажем спасибо Кейку. Ей.
Пока-пока.
Bye. То, что вы сейчас видите, это гонка. Гонка, предметы, которые мы подбираем, абсолютно рандомизированы. То есть неизвестно, какие именно будут выпадать. Мы видим, что они абсолютно нога в ногу идут. Окей.
A bomb capacity upgrade. How many of those are there in the game?
There are 6 plus 5 bomb capacity upgrades and a 7th 10 capacity upgrade.
Too many.
Way too many.
That seems like too much. We don't want to help our.
И сейчас они подобрали улучшение на как это называется? На улучшение. Ну, собственно, грубо говоря, сколько мы можем дышать под водой. И вот сейчас они как раз разделяются по своим путям. Нет, немножко наврал, извините. Они сейчас подобрали не то, что позволяет дольше дышать под водой, а они подобрали бумеранг. Потому что был донат, цель донатов на прохождение без меча. И они, собственно, набрали эту цель на прохождение без меча.
In past versions, Kakariko Village has been kind of pretty stacked, I'd say.
Yeah, it usually has a lot of items that you'd want to pick up, but we were able to kind of spread items out a bit more so that it's not so stacked and you end up having to do a bit more. This particular version of the open mode that they're playing is also a swordless mode, which means our players will never find a sword in this game. They're going to find little green 20 rupees that say 20 on them. Those are where the swords would have been.
Сейчас они рассказывают о том, что так как это версия без мечей, вообще в каждом сундуке, где должен быть по сути меч, раннеры будут получать ровно 20 рупий деньги в этой игре. Энди играет за Мугла, а Кристос Оуэн играет за темного Линка, я так понимаю. Или что это за странный персонаж такой? И они оба получили красные... Как это называется? Красные зелья.
Nice, while boomerang debatably nice. I don't know.
It's the blue boomerang.
Love the boomerang.
Boomerangs. I mean, it does. It stuns enemies, so that's a start.
It also kills Stalfos Knights. I found out when I ran out of bombs the other day.
No, I forgot that they got the boomerang. Ooh.
We got the gloves. And the flute. All right, Kakariko coming through in the end. Thank you.
И вот, собственно, такие относительно рандомные моменты уже идут, что Мугл подобрал
Chris just actually had a chat with the old lady
перчатки
outside of his house,
железные,
way back when Chris raced
а
a race where
темный Линк
Christos
подобрал
basically
флейту.
lost a lot of time because he
Вообще,
forgot to check
правильно
this one particular location
это,
which had the bow.
это темный Линк или
That's kind of the nature of randomizer. You can miss one
какой-то
item, and,
специфичный
well,
под
that's good
раннера?
value right there. 100 for 300, nice. Yeah,
Линк,
you can miss one item,
специфичный
and
под
that's
раннера.
pretty much GG. Especially if you thought you already checked it, and then you never go back. Well, so this is interesting. We have a glove and a flute. Flute kind of... The only really thing that opens up is Death Mountain, because normally you would need the glove plus the lantern to get up to Death Mountain, but with the flute, you can go straight there. But we still have a ton of overworld left to check first, but it'll be interesting to see if either of these players go up there.
Yeah, and all that stuff I said about the old man and the save point completely useless now. So that's
Энди взял тоже флейту.
This will also give them a lot more quick movement in the
Опять был
overworld to be able to get around.
бессигнальник.
Yeah, and you'll sometimes see players go down to like the desert area for a quick check. You know, a lot of times people put off. There's a particular cave down there called Agina's Cave, however you want to pronounce it. A lot of players will skip it, and when you have the flute, it's a quick check to go down there and grab that and then save and quit.
So if you're on Team Chris in the audience here, can we get a nice big round of applause, big yell? And if you're on Team Andy, just stay quiet, please. Thank you.
Сейчас пошли рафляночки уровня. Если вы в команде Криса, то похлопайте. Хлопает половина зала. И если вы на команде Энди, то помолчите, пожалуйста.
I remember that one.
That's another one, yeah.
Yeah, he lost a particular race because he forgot to check right there.
It's an easy one to... No, not really. I don't know who misses that. That's weird.
It's almost like the rando devs like to have fun with people that run randomizer a lot.
No, not at all.
Is it an honor to get your name in there?
I think it is an honor.
Even if it's often based on a dumb that you do? Is that a good thing that you want?
No comment.
No comment. All right.
Это выглядит на самом деле как будто Энди все-таки быстрее, чем Крис сейчас.
They will more than likely be heading over to like Mini Moldorn Cave next, which is going to be a little hard without a weapon. But they both bought bombs, so they might be able to clear that one on their first try, unless they're bad. We'll find out.
I think both of our players should be able to clear that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I would be very concerned.
The game assumes that you can kill most things with bombs alone. It's not very nice.
Did we mention this is swordless?
We did mention that this is in fact swordless. Our players are really in a search for a weapon other than bombs.
There's no swords?
There are no swords in the swordless game.
You gotta be stupid to play this game without a sword,
Well, yeah, I
man.
haven't.
Вау!
Down. We got another bomb. Is he gonna get the double? He got the double.
the twofer.
Oh, with a bomb drop too. Oh, a little too early on that one, or a little too late.
The immense skill coming from
Oh, and
Andy.
another wasted bomb. He's got to be careful. And he's... Oh.
Ай-яй-яй, Мугл не долетел. Собственно, сейчас оба раннера опираются на оружие только вот бомбы.
Big 20, a heart piece. The Moon Pearl. And half magic.
Two really nice items to pick up early in the game.
Очень хороший предмет поднял.
Moon Pearl, pretty important item. Kind of need that
It's
to
overrated.
kind of beat the kind of game. Most importantly, to get to the Dark World and not turn into a bunny.
Absolutely.
Or whatever it is you turn into, given
Yes, of
the
course.
different.
А вот этот самый
Different
Moon Orb,
versions as well. We see
лунный
players also go to
камень,
Astra Cave. Now, you know, this is another place that sometimes
лунный
like this.
кругляшок, так сказать, нужен для того, чтобы пройти игру, во-первых, а во-вторых, для того, чтобы не пропустить превращение в кролика в темном мире.
They have no idea where the other player is going.
Is this blindfolded?
Yeah. So it's just really interesting to see both of them essentially take up to this point nearly the exact same route.
I wonder if they planned this, or is that just because of the flute?
I think it's a natural progression. They've played this enough times. They're both top tier runners of the randomizer to be able to kind of have a good idea of what they're doing. We also
Now,
go ahead.
what we saw there was what we call the fake flipper. pretty big deal. You want to check a few things, but most importantly, it's what we call a sequence break. Now, the game has like the randomizer has a built-in logic, and when you do stuff without using minor glitches, you kind of break that logic. So, oh wow, we got a mirror in the back of Escape, and more importantly,
A single arrow.
a single arrow.
Only one of them in the entire game.
У Криса выпало зеркало, и зачем-то стрела одна штука.
Goes to show you that that's true. Andy is now literate in the video game. He has the Book of Medora, which will allow him to read basically the 2 tablets as well as get into desert if he doesn't have a way to get to the Dark World.
Сейчас Энди подобрал книгу Доры для того, чтобы, во-первых, пройти в пустыню и прочитать две главных таблички, которые будут по сюжету.
So earlier, Andy had jumped into the water through a screen transition without the flippers, which you normally need to swim. But with the Moon Pearl in hand,
Oh my goodness gracious.
with the Moon Pearl in hand, he was able to do what's known as the walk on water glitch and swim up into the waterfall fairy cave.
Это жемчужина.
Just leaving and coming back in.
Это лунная жемчужина. Вот для того, чтобы плавать в воде, нужны плавники.
Absolutely.
Ну, нет, не нужны плавники, нужны ласты. Но с помощью вот перехода на другой вот экран и использования вот этого лунного лунной жемчужины можно вот загличить игру и вот начать плавать, вот. И он взял красные ботинки. Это собаки Пегаса? Собаки Пегаса, да. К сожалению, я не смогу сказать, что именно они сейчас делают. Ну, именно сами эти сапоги.
It's a very satisfying feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we see on Chris's side also going to go for the fake flipper. So Andy's little advantage he had earlier is going to be, kind of a little bit short. But we see over on Andy's side, it's a little dark. Why is it that way? Why is it dark?
He's doing what's known as dark room navigation, another sequence break. In fact, I don't know if these players are actually following the sequence of the game at all. They're just kind of doing whatever they want, anywhere they want. And I believe he's saving the old man right now in the mountain.
Сейчас рассказывают о том, что вообще, по сути, у Энди сейчас ломание требуемого пути. То есть, что им нужно было включить, по сути, свет в этих шахтах, но они, по крайней мере, Энди и, я так понимаю, Крис тоже будет это делать. Они просто пропустят это и сразу же пойдут. Что только что произошло? Ай-яй-яй.
As long as that's the only hover he does, we're fine. We don't have to get on him for that.
So another interesting thing about when you're in the fake flipper state, if you take damage, you immediately die. And that would be really bad if Christos had taken damage before picking up the boots here.
Нужно отметить такие вещи, что, например, если вы находитесь в состоянии вот этих неправильных ласт, то абсолютно любой удар делает инстакилл, то есть убивает с одного раза. Вас причем, игрового персонажа. И, скажем, обоим рандерам просто повезло, что никто не смог ничего им нанести по лицу.
All you have to do is press the dash button for 1 frame and only release the dash button for a maximum of 30 frames over and over and over again. while holding forward.
It's pretty free.
Is it the opposite of
I
that?
think it's, yes, you release it for 1 frame and press it back down. And
I don't know. No one knows how to do it.
Can anyone learn how to hover, Patty?
No.
Oh. Oh, there you go.
Don't listen to the lies you hear. It's impossible.
So we saw on the Ether tablet just some couch cash, so not really getting any value out of that book so far, and we only getting 10 arrows for our first item in Tower of Hera. So let's find out where our next progression is going to be. Andy, a few hits from that mini Mold run.
Тем временем Энди получил 10 стрел.
Good idea.
Look at him
Зачем-то.
turning his head.
Another
Poor
note
Andy.
about the tablets and the Master Sword pedestal, well, at least the tablets anyway, because you don't have a sword, and normally in the regular game you need the Master Sword or better to be able to get the item there. In Swordless, you need the hammer. It's the next best thing. It's magical. It has something to do with MC Hammer Pants, I think.
Сейчас говорят, что в идеале нужно в спидране такого плана без меча. Нужно подобрать молот, который мало того, что еще и магический, так еще и второй по не хардкорности, а все-таки силе.
You don't want to double dip dungeons in general.
I'm thinking that he's going to go to desert since he has the boots, but no fire source though.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
It's also still a sequence break. They shouldn't be able to get into desert at this point in the game.
Oh, I
yet.
mean,
Oh, yeah, that's a
he's
good
already
point.
broken the heck out of it. Might as well go with it.
Oh, we got another green potion on the
Who
desert ledge.
cares?
We also saw Chris skipping out on the bug net, so that's one less safety for him in the future.
It's also
Not that he's going to need it.
in Swordless. It is a weapon that you can use to
Oh, right.
reflect Aghanim's balls back at him.
Wow, that's a good point. That might actually be required.
So, the Aghanim fight, you have to deflect the fireballs or the spheres back at Aghanim to damage him, and usually you just use your sword. to
Сейчас
fight.
они расследуют битву с Аганимом. Нужно
Or the bug net.
отражать его
Usually the
атаки
hammer works.
на расстоянии.
Vanilla game.
Normal. Okay, so the hammer and the net both work in the actual normal A Link to the Past game. I believe the bug net was ironically a bug and not
Энди
supposed to
получил
deflect
сачок.
balls back at him. So I think that's the reason why they made it in Ocarina of Time with the bottle, that you can deflect Ganondorf's shots back at him, and then they kept it going in Twilight Princess. You can distract Ganon Beast with the fishing rod and Ganondorf with the fishing rod. So
Oh, wow.
I think they messed up. I could be wrong.
I think they messed
They messed up in A Link to the Past, and they're like, let's just go with it. So now you can just do goofy stuff to the final boss of the game in most Zelda games. Isn't A Link to the Past great?
It is.
I like it. It's not bad.
Ooh. So Chris trying to take care of this hard hat beetle upstairs, and when you bomb them, they get stunned.
Are you kidding me?
Okay,
There.
so
Go ahead.
so they sequence broke the logic of the randomizer to find the boots. And now that they have the boots, they're able to go to desert and get the fire rod. So they're not supposed to have the fire rod yet either. So they are missing something at this point that they just didn't get. And they're going to have to go back to some earlier area that they're going to gloss over very easily to find probably the flippers, I would
Yeah, it'd be
guess.
safe to
Just do
assume
the
it's probably
flippers.
sitting in Eastern Palace at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times the game wants to send you into a dungeon you can't complete just to find a required item to get to the item to complete the dungeon. It's very entertaining.
It could also be the hammer or the a glove upgrade to get to Dark World.
That's also an option. So, but yeah, that's huge.
Deeper and deeper.
Well, that's also the thing about sequence breaking is like you can't just sequence break a little. You got to just keep on going. You got to keep
Absolutely.
going with the break.
How deep does the rabbit hole go
Exactly.
before you headbutt into a dead end and cry? That's what this game does to you, man.
And just a big 20 from Agnes Cave. So what do we have left to check at this point? We still have the 3 potential items in Eastern Palace. What else we got?
I can't think of anything.
So we're looking for a hammer or a glove to get us into...
Oh, escape.
There is escape.
Oh,
that you
yeah,
can go
yeah.
through the front.
See, that's the thing about open mode, is that you don't have to go through the entire escape sequence at the beginning of the game. And then once you have the fire rod and the boots and the moon pearl and you're starting to think about going to Dark World, you forget that, Zelda's sitting in a dungeon somewhere calling for help, which you know, it's kind of important.
Well, she's not actually down there. She's already been saved, but
By
if she
you?
were down there.
Vitorp took her out of the dungeon and put her in the sanctuary. So.
And waiting until this point to go check it is smart. Now that, you know, Andy and eventually Chris will actually have. Well, there they are.
it is.
Now that they actually have a weapon, instead of using like bombs, they'll be able to do it a little bit quicker. So what else do we got? What else is down here? We still got a few more chests to check.
Indeed, indeed. And while they're checking chests, I think now would probably be a good time for some donations if you have any.
Мне кажется, что даже комментаторы немного у них рассинхрон с этими самыми товарищами. Собственно, теперь у обоих раннеров есть оружие. Это вот такой огненный посох.
Also have the $70 from In the Name of DT working hard back there on the tracker for the stream. Says, hey guys, here's $5 for every crystal that will be collected. That's 14. Think dorm. Let's see. We have Anonymous with $25 who says, donation to Andy's choice.
Донаты.
Pug life.
Честно сказать,
$25 from Cross Product. Who says, good luck to
эта
Andy
игра,
and Christos. I don't want you guys to get too far off track, but I'll donate an extra $25 if at least one runner talks to the NPC sitting at the bar.
я не могу сказать, что на какой именно они процент проходят, any процент или же какой-то другой, но any процент вообще было где-то на минут 30, по крайней мере на ESA 2017, насколько я помню. Потому что там оказался, или может быть на каком-то другом марафоне, грубо говоря, там использовался глич, скип и вообще ломание абсолютно полностью всей игры. Но сейчас так происходит что-то, ну, совсем медленное, если честно говорить. Может, из-за того, что у них меча нет, они не рискуют на некоторых моментах, чтобы было быстро, вот полчаса и все. Но да.
It very much is. Luckily, though, they'll know that they don't have to do that just yet until they get.
Хлопа Крису, который подобрал...
Very clean fight there.
Убил одного из боссов.
And or, well, as well as a way to get to Aghanim himself, which would be either the cape or the hammer.
But yeah, because you can kill the little spark dude that blocks the entrance with the hammer in swordless mode.
Absolutely.
У Энди также подобрал еще ласты, сачок и вот это огненный посох. А Крис подобрал второе зелье. У Энди теперь 100% есть пропуск в темный мир, потому что он подобрал улучшенные перчатки.
Huge item in swordless mode to have that hammer.
Pretty big deal. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Fire Rod for a while now. Oh, okay.
So a very important item was just found in swordless mode. You can hit Ganon with the hammer. It's something we enabled. There was actually code that said you couldn't hit him with the hammer, and we're like, well, you need to be able to hit him with something. So we let you hit him with the hammer. The only problem is in the final phase, you can't hit him with the hammer, or it's really, 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 really hard to do so. So the silver arrows are actually required to be able to kill Ganon, like the original game, the first Legend of Zelda game. So that is a huge item to pick up right there.
Сейчас они рассказывают о том, что по сути Гэнона невозможно было ударить с помощью молотка, но потом вот для версии, которая абсолютно без меча, им пришлось вот посмотреть в код игры, посмотреть на то, что там написано Ганнаны нельзя ударить с помощью молотка.
It's special.
Ну и они взяли такие и сказали, а почему бы нет, нам нужно же
Well, there's
его
our first
чем-то
sword. Well,
ударить.
kind of. That little 20.
Таким образом, собственно, это все появилось. Но единственное, в последней его стадии,
Yeah, for Andy, it's on
или
to the
предпоследней,
drawing board.
немножко прослушал,
Entering from
Ганнана абсолютно
that
невозможно
section,
ударить с помощью молотка,
where we'll
либо
find
это
Beatstown
настолько
and
точно,
Beat
что
Skullwoods. And Skullwoods
лучше не
is
надо.
fancy this time. Now that, swords aren't required,
И для этого мы как раз вот, по крайней мере, у
Absolutely. Not to
Энди
forget in
сейчас
open mode,
есть,
you need a sword to cut through a certain
как
set
эти,
back half of the dungeon.
стрелы называются.
wow. Pendant Meyer and Pendant T-Rock, so,
That's really good for them. Really good for
or
them.
really bad.
Мгм.
Horrible,
It's-
depending on how awful VTorp's new version of this randomizer is. So we'll see.
Да.
I take no credit.
I'm already expecting a bow in Pendant T-Rock. Like, it's every time.
Nothing warms the soul like having to drudge all the way up to Turtle Rock, dive all the way down to the eyeball cave, dash in between all the lasers,
It's gotta-
only to find that the very last chest in the dungeon just sends you back out of the dungeon to Eastern Palace to finish it. How fun.
It's very fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, Andy with
Сейчас они рассказывают всего лишь о примерной точности движений, которые тут оказываются. И при том, что один из сундуков, последний сундук, отправляет вас в начало
That's what's so impressive about
самого вот этого данжа и под уровнем.
is that we're sitting here with 3 brains combined and we're still struggling to come up with, oh yeah, where can they go, what can they do, and we're not even playing the game. So
Absolutely.
these guys are playing the game without a way to cause damage, and the whole time they're going through this, executing all of these rooms so well. They're constantly racking their brains thinking, where am I going to go next? What would be the best way to go? Where's my opponent probably going to go? Just, their brains are firing a million miles a minute. And I'm just so impressed and so happy to be a part of this. It's so great.
Сейчас комментаторы говорят, что ух, как интересно смотреть на этих раннеров, что они вот прям как делают, что их мозги сейчас работают. Ух, как быстро для того, чтобы вообще понять, что происходит, и чтобы среагировать настолько быстро.
Yeah, the nice thing about, having half magic is you really don't have to worry too much about Mothula. Generally,
У обоих раннеров есть компас, кажется, еще. Почему компас не добавляют вот эту табличку? Потому что его там его и нет в помине.
They did not do a good job programming Mothra at all.
I think it's a wonderful fight.
They
So
fixed it later.
anytime you hit Mothula into a spike, it negates any damage that you've done to him. I think that's an excellent way to code.
It's just part of the challenge.
I just love that given that information, they decided, if he doesn't take damage when hit into a spike, why would we not just cover the entire room in moving spikes? And a treadmill. Send it to print.
All right, this is looking pretty good so far. It's
Oh,
also
he's
worth
being
remembering.
so nice.
I know.
So nice.
Just
Oh
keeps
my
moving
goodness.
down in the middle. That's easy.
There will be
Относительно легкий босс-баттл получился у Энди. Он пришел такой в подземелье, а его встречает моль.
Looks like Chris is gonna just
Да,
dip
они
right
только
in and
что
out of
сказали,
that
что это все-таки что-то похожее на
entrance
моль.
requirements are, and also check 3 chests pretty quickly.
С одной стороны, что реально это все выглядит как будто у Энди реальное преимущество, но, к сожалению, он отстает от Криса на одного, как было показано, относительно легкого босса.
Was it worth it?
I thought they just played Final Fantasy. I'm gonna go now. Have a good time, guys.
Я думаю, что мы просто так играем в финальную фантазию.
Here it comes. First pedestal check.
All right, so that's just an arrow capacity upgrade. So what's going to happen is Andy's going to have to get all 3 pendants to come back for the arrow capacity upgrade in order to beat the game.
It's pretty important.
Нам абсолютно нужно вот
Transformations.
It's rough.
улучшение на количество носимых стрел, потому что это очень важно для того, чтобы, собственно, завершить саму игру.
Some of our donors as well.
Oh no.
A lot of pedestal comments up here.
Let's hear some of them.
Oh, okay, sure, why not? Here's Blue Green Mikey with a $500 donation. He says, I've been excited for this race ever since the AGDQ schedule was announced. The link to the past rando community is the best in all of Hyrule. Let's see some key sanity appearing at this summer games. Pedestal hype. Aw.
No.
Also, Nemesis with a great comment here. They also donated $500. So incredible. Said, hello, AGDQ community. Thank you for your extraordinary charity. I have been an AGDQ and SGDQ viewer for many years, and for the first time, donor. I admire your work very much. I've decided to make a donation because my wife had her best friend die of cancer 3 months ago.
Донаты.
I would like to dedicate this donation to the whole randomizer crew. It's
Донаты,
fun to
господа.
randomize your tournaments and listen to your commentators. In hope of a pedestal race, many greetings from Germany to the crew of AGDQ and the randomizer.
Nope.
You know, it sounds mean of the seed when we put it that way.
So Andy getting some information on the bumper cave, finding out that there's a bee in a bottle there.
Best item in the game.
Probably won't be coming back for it.
But is it a good bee?
I don't know.
Chris getting grabbed by the Wallmaster. Was it intentional? Probably not.
Probably not.
We know that there is a
У Энди оказался в инвентаре
one
гриб
earlier with the bottle and the book, but a
или что-то реально похожее на гриб.
mushroom. They'll have to take that over to the witch's hut to turn that in, which is a lot easier when you have the flute. But we'll see. We'll see if they decide to keep it as well.
It's the same kind of thing as the magic powder as before. You give the mushroom to the witch, and the witch puts magic powder in the hut for you to collect, but because the magic powder's somewhere else, it's a different item and they don't know what it is yet.
Although there is a possibility that Andy may want to hold on to that mushroom for a while.
Сейчас они рассказывают про вот использование этого самого гриба, который подняли. Можно, точнее, нужно пойти к ведьме на болоте
There you go.
и отдать ей, собственно, гриб в таком...
I really
Yeah.
hope we see that. That'd be awesome.
I will interrupt your strategy meeting for a moment just to announce that we have beaten the record of donations from AGDQ 2015.
Тем временем они побили рекорд донатов с АГДК 2015. Похлопаем, ребята, похлопаем, пожалуйста, я спать. Да.
Summer Games Done Quick 2017, which was $1.79 million.
Следующий цель их побития, так сказать, это рекорд донатов по АГДК 2017.
More money.
Ooh, time for our Christos moth fight.
Let's see how it goes.
Go up. More. What are you doing? Moth. 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 Moth.
It's so easy.
Ох,
Hey!
Aww.
Крис наконец-то уничтожил моль.
Oh-ho!
По боссам, на самом деле, преимущество у Криса,
What's wrong
потому
with
что
Fred?
он уничтожил какую-то
So good.
многоножку, наверное.
Yum.
И только что
And our friendly flute player who normally gives us the
только что,
not giving us much of anything. 20 rupees.
да,
We're now
уничтожил моль.
Andy, 1 rupee away. Jack and Zora. So, a big 20 is pretty important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, generally Andy is making the route down to go check what we like to call hype cave. During the spring tournament, that was kind of the general cave that had just a lot of stuff. Let's see if we're gonna get some hype today, guys.
I have to ask you, who is we?
Collectively,
Okay.
Абсолютное молчание.
Us, we.
that's a start. Come on, keep it going.
Oh, and
That's pretty good.
Chris has turned in
that's
his
less-
mushroom and gotten a bottle.
Тем временем у Энди поднял красный бумеранг и улучшенную одежду. Насколько я понимаю, это же одежда улучшенная, да? Кажется, да.
Yes, he went ahead and just turned that in. He said, I have no idea where the powder is because he doesn't actually know where the powder is.
He doesn't. Chris does something that can pay off or can, be horrible, and he doesn't check the item up under the lumberjack tree. So Andy knows that the powder's there, but
And Andy just threw his mushroom away.
okay, so
Hey, blue potion though.
all right.
Энди просто выкинул
Andy is banking
этот
on
самый,
there not being anything of importance.
как это называется, гриб.
But Chris just has no idea that powder is on that ledge.
The dream hammer is in Batcave.
Oh my gosh.
That is so possible.
I want that to happen.
So to play along with your hypothetical dream, let's walk through what would need to happen for that to be a thing and how horrible and awful it would be.
Well, all we need would be the cape, the lamp.
Я не смогу точно сказать, кто именно впереди, потому что у обоих раннеров на самом деле вполне хорошие результаты.
So,
To be able to deflect anything
Yes.
at Aghanim. And then
В
once
итоге
Aghanim's
получается,
defeated, the lumberjacks go away, opening up the tree.
получаются
They have to bonk open
Ю.
to get the powder, and then take
Да.
the powder to the hole where they would have to have access to the dark world to mirror past the hammer peg because they don't have the hammer to jump into that hole, powder, and get the hammer from the bat. That is possible.
That sounds so glorious.
I know.
dreams do come true. So, yeah, from Zoro we only got a heart container as well as Digging Game only dropping a heart container. So what is our next progression? Where are we gonna go?
Сейчас они просто набивали себе
Let's see. With flippers in hand,
контейнеры со здоровьем.
swim over and go to pod.
Palace of Darkness, they could check what's on the pyramid. They could go all the way to the catfish.
A whole smorgasbord of possibilities.
Absolutely. They could go check the first chest in Swamp Palace.
Рассказывает о том,
There's
что
always a chance of a hammer hiding out in
какие
there.
именно сундуки им лучше будет и оптимальнее
For Andy's
проверять в данный момент, в особенности с таким-то рандомом,
without the hammer
то
is
абсолютно можно
this big chest in here is
понять.
guarded by a bunch of switches or whatever you want to call them, where you have to use the hammer to get to the chest.
Whack-a-moles.
Whack-a-moles.
So not having a hammer, if there's a required item in there, that could be pretty bad.
But there could be something in Thieves Town that you need to go somewhere else in order to get the hammer to come back to Thieves Town to get the thing out of the big chest that you need.
To go to Aga to get the.
Is every one of these going to end in to go to Aga?
Just go to Aghanim to get the hammer they already have.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we got a bit of a route divergence. Chris already turning in the frog/blacksmith, which in the vanilla game you normally do to get the tempered sword, but of course those are randomized as well. And taking the purple chest, which you normally get a bottle from in the vanilla game, which of course is randomized as well. Pretty much everything's randomized. So we're gonna find out if that is anything of value. It's a little bit quicker of a check when you have the mirror and the flute, but whilst checking this route down here, it's gonna be a little brisk walk.
So just because people might have stopped into the live stream while this is going on real quick and they're wondering why is there a Moogle running around to Links to the Past
Aw.
dungeons, this is Zelda Randomizer. Basically everything in the game is put in an item pool and randomized among themselves, and there was an incentive for what to change Link's sprite to. So now that you're caught up and everything makes perfect sense.
Yes. We could have had Zelda. We could have had a dog.
What kind of a dog is it? It's
I
like
don't know.
Chihuahua or
No one
something?
really cares.
Сейчас они рассказывают о том, что в этих вот сундуках можно, ну, на самом деле, абсолютно любой предмет
Nothing really of value value happening up in Thievestown.
Нет,
Yeah,
то, что
it's
можно вот
gonna be big for Chris. If Chris
этот
brings
сундук
out
теперь
this
следует
big
за
one, I
нами.
like to put off
То
the
есть
silver
мог
for
бы
a long time.
какой-нибудь,
Oh my goodness.
могла быть
Poor
какая-нибудь
Chris takes
собачка,
the
мог,
lead.
мог бы какой-нибудь там, не знаю, котик. Нет, нам за нами
He's
двигается
actually gonna be set
сундук.
up to go check
Дожили,
Rocco's pocket,
докатились.
which is always a little more exciting than the purple chest, just because the purple chest is awful. No one.
It
no
has
one
nice
likes it.
things.
Sometimes. Hey,
All right, so he'll need to come back there.
just gotta find that hammer.
I believe it's about 300 rupees usually.
A horde.
That's what a horde is, I think.
Now, is that like, in general, like a unit of measurement? A horde is 300.
It's 300 rupees.
So, like Donkey Kong Country, he has exactly 300 bananas.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is becoming a definition of horde now.
All right, and Chris now about to receive his unhype
Oh boy, I'm excited.
red tunic.
Red tunic's not too bad when, like, you can't do any damage to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the important thing is it changes the color of his belt to red, and I believe Link's eyes will be red now.
Ooh.
So this is important to note. Right now, Andy has no way to actually defeat that boss. Because in this boat, the only way you can defeat it is if you have either the Cane of Samaria, the Cane of Burna, which is the blue cane, or a hammer, or a sword. There are no swords, we don't have a hammer or the other stuff, so it made sense to just bring Blind to the boss room and then bail out, because it's a quick, easy way to go back and check that later, or finish that off later.
Сейчас говорят, что у Энди как бы абсолютно ничего нету
Thieves' Town.
из оружия. И вот этот босс, который сейчас у него будет, это, реально будет больно.
Rico Village to get there. Andy, on the other hand, is going to be. Andy's going to be doing some new stuff here, possibly doing that Southern Hyrule movement that Chris already just did. So it looks like they're just kind of swapping places.
Yeah, so
today.
that'd
Probably
be
a good time
for
for donations.
A great time for donation. It's a good time for donations.
My favorite word. All right, here's a donation.
Донаты.
K Farnung, they left us $150 and simply said, looking forward to seeing a Link to the Past randomizer during prime time. Thank you, K Farnung. And also Meg with a $1,000 donation. Said, as always, had to get my donation in during Andy's run. Lots of Pug Farm love to Andy. Good luck. Oh, and here's to killing the Yoshis. We have some other Yoshi incentive donations here. Duck Duck Moose with $150 said, my girlfriend and I have been arguing about killing the baby Yoshis for the past couple of hours. Luckily, I'm the one donating. Die, Yoshis, die! Speaking of some other bid wars, Anonymous donated $150 and said, please understand.
We apologize. for
Hammer
interrupting.
О,
hammer hype. No,
бой!
take it away.
Энди наконец-то взял
We
молоток.
were
Наконец-то он может хотя бы пройти
Normal
эту
people
игру.
get the chest and take it to the locksmith guy, but this is Andy. So he decided, I'm gonna take the chest to North Dark World and check for things, and now poor Chris.
Chris still has a good opportunity after this. There aren't a whole lot of spots left for him to go to.
I think the reason why he took that route is because I believe he had already checked what we call K45 along the way down there. Circle of Bushes, Red Boomerang Cave.
The Red Boomerang Cave is where we found the Red Boomerang this time.
Yeah. So that's probably why you...
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm just gonna chalk it up to he's a cheater. I don't know how.
That's the easiest way to do it. We love throwing that word around.
We'll never. be able
Естественно,
to
они
do it
рассказывают
perfectly,
о вот
I'm just gonna go with that.
But the hammer is huge. It lets him basically do a lot of things.
грубо говоря, о пользе
Yes.
этого
Like-
самого
Actually hurt many of them.
Yeah.
Like, you
Как
can
это
now kill
называется?
Moldorm or
baby.
молотка.
Blind.
Молоток — это, одно из очень мощных орудий, которое бьет, оп, и все.
A horde.
Items.
I don't know. Horde's a bit much.
Literally 300 items over here. And you know what? We might We may be seeing some more hovering here pretty soon,
Oh,
too.
maybe.
There is a very particular cave that you generally need a hook shot to get through. We like to call it the hook shot cave.
That's usually what we call it,
Yeah.
Hookshot Cave.
It's simple.
The usually a hook shot cave. I like that.
So I'm guessing Chris will probably do the same peace out after he drops off blind.
I want to see him try and fight blind.
Unless he knows something I don't know.
Насколько я сейчас понимаю, во-первых, они рассказали о том, что
Worth it.
That's 60 things we've seen. So there's 50 rupees on top, 10 arrows.
м,
Close to that 300
они...
you're talking about.
Fifth of the way to a horde.
True, yeah, if you put it that way.
Так,
What if there's an inventory spot for each? team?
скоро у обоих раннеров будет такое место, как
All right, well, this is huge.
Hookshot
This is right. Looks like he's
Cave.
actually doing- He's going to be getting his hammer pretty soon, so
Это
not really going to be too far behind.
Andy showing off one of the more interesting version.
пещера крюка кошки, где вот как раз он часто используется.
Not a dungeon.
Definitely don't do it in a dungeon. Or tell your friend to do it in a dungeon if you don't like them very much.
Sword.
You can erase blocks that you're pushing by just spamming the mirror.
Do you have any idea why that works?
I have
Or
no idea.
why it, I guess, doesn't work? would
Hey.
be A better way to put it. It's so odd. If you press the mirror button while a block is moving, the block just disappears. The game doesn't know what to do.
It's probably the sound that the mirror makes telling you
But then you could do it with the book.
No, it doesn't do it with the book. The book's special. It's trying to read the block.
This sound-
It's a different
It's a different
Maybe.
They all sound the same to me. Can't read, can't look in a mirror. What's the
Ooh, quick combos.
Well,
Well, there's two potentially useless items.
I would like to submit a petition to rename this to Hype Cave.
Medallion cave? Let's see what else we're going to find up in here.
Конечно, пошла шутейка уровня. Эй, ребят, я хочу отправить петицию, чтобы эту пещеру переименовали.
Bad Aga play.
And that Aghanim play. It's still on the table.
Yeah.
They just need lamp though. They still need the lamp.
Oh.
Get a little subtle hover here.
What a cheater.
Ух, у Энди, кстати говоря, очень хорошо
Cheers, and I'm
получается вот эти все скипы делать. Ну, просто с этим левитированием. Насколько я помню эту часть Зельды, нужно просто мэшить на кнопку А и очень быстро делать это все дело. Для того, чтобы, ну, хотя бы не упасть вниз.
Thankfully, Patty has me covered. Good luck to both runners.
Here we go. Will Andy do the thing that he loves to do?
I think it's almost a given.
Hear it? Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
О, идеально.
Thought I could be so free. I'm a dirty cheater and my name is Andy.
Энди грязный читер.
TTP.
Ah. Boo.
Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй, Энди, ну что.
Arm got tired.
Хотя нет, это было специально сделано.
So obviously you're not supposed to get those items till you have the hook shot.
I don't think these guys have followed the logic at all for pretty much any of this game, so I don't.
Nah,
Yeah, they're making us look bad.
I do that alone, but you know.
All right, coming up is Spike Cave.
Why do they call it that?
Beats me.
No, seriously, why do they call it that? Do you not know?
I have no idea.
Is that like is that the actual name of it?
Сейчас они находились в пещере с
And a big rock cave. There's a big rock at the end.
That's true.
шипами.
And Chris-
Раннеры, точнее комментаторы, не знают, почему оно так называется.
Which we did get up there.
So they're going to have both medallions they need to get into 2 dungeons that they might not need to set foot in anyways. So,
Absolutely.
their inventory is actually surprisingly bare for as much movement and motion they have throughout the overworlds and as many dungeons as they can do right now. They don't really have too much, it seems like.
They've been spending more time in the overworld, it feels like.
So at this point, as far as we know, the only things they still need are the hookshot, the bow. We don't know if they actually need Kena Samaria yet.
Kena Samaria is going to be needed.
Кажется, я
They
правильно
need to
вообще
go
это
into Mystery
слышу?
Iron. They need to
Им
break
сейчас
down
из
every
предметов
door,
осталось из таких
or
вот
they
главных.
need to go into Turtle Rock,
Это, во-первых,
or
лук и
they don't
стрелы,
do either of those things, but they need to go to the right
а второй
side
предмет я
of
уже,
the
уже
basement
забыл.
in order to
Но
find
не
it.
суть, им
So
нужно
there
2
are a lot of
предмета
places
собрать,
that they have to be able
достаточно
to avoid
легких, насколько я
in order to
понимаю.
not need the Kena Samaria, which
И
quite
они
honestly
абсолютно
doesn't happen
подготовлены
ever.
к дальнейшим, собственно, действиям в самом спидране.
That's the one thing when you get, like, whenever you start up a new seed and you see which dungeons are required, you're already starting to think, what items do I not need? And how soon can I get to this, what we like to call go mode? You guys might know what that is.
I believe it's the time when you have enough items to be able to go to the end of the game and kill Ganon.
No, that's not it.
Oh, okay.
What if you're bad at the game and can't kill Ganon? Then are you ever in go mode?
No, never.
Okay.
We have Christos making a play on Ice Palace.
Now we're getting some real divergence here.
Yeah.
Вот теперь они действительно разделяются в прохождениях.
Well, that's a fun
Крис пошел в Ледяной дворец, так как, но насколько я могу понять, Энди туда, видимо, ни ногой не ступит.
You're not supposed to be able to do it without a sword in the game in general, but we allow you to use it to open up Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. And Chris made an excellent point that we should be able to use it inside of Ice Palace to gain entry. And after a lot of hacking and cracking, we were able to make it so that we could put those tiles in there for you to be able to use it, but only in swordless mode.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Ох, ох, ох.
Especially good for Chris.
That's good for Chris, but Andy doesn't need it. Just kidding.
You might for a particular dungeon.
They made a gentleman's agreement before this race that before they ended the race, they would both have to find Hookshot. So
Well, and luckily they absolutely have to find Hookshot to get to Argus.
Is he a pirate?
Сейчас говорят о том, что им абсолютно обязательно нужен хукшот для того, чтобы попасть к некому Аргусу.
Even more route divergence with Andy
Тем временем
going into
Энди
Mire
все-таки
now.
сравнял
While
свой
Chris is
счет
able to
боссов
clear ice
с
and
Крисом.
crystal, Andy's not gonna be able to clear this because unless we find Canis Maria in here, and we also have to remember it is a pendant, and if I recall correctly, it is the green. No, green pendant is at T-Rock. All right.
this is what we in the business call a gamble. Chris pulling up a
Какая же какая же рафленка от комментариев
Okay,
It's fine.
it's still good.
и комментаторов.
If you don't know, you can line yourself up on certain pixels and blast yourself over certain gaps. There's a lot of guides for it, especially in Ice Palace.
Yeah, bombs are pretty useful in a lot of these rooms, as we've been seeing. The penguins are really weird because, like, you'd think they die in one hit to a fire rod shot, but they don't.
They don't know, but
But-
they're scared of the hook shot.
And bombs, like,
Got that thick coat of blubber.
yeah.
Какие-то рафленочки странного уровня.
Fire.
Oh, the big key.
Oh, that's huge.
Что?
Don't listen to the moans and groans. I liked that one. That was good.
Ice Palace is also just one of those interesting dungeons where there are a lot of ways you can route it, with or without hook shot. You know, there's a bomb jump in that room that you can do. There's like 2 other potential bomb jumps, and you know you would never use that in any other way of playing this game. So it's kind of fun.
There's just playing it normally. where you go through the dungeon, don't bomb jump.
That's boring. Gotta do the bomb jumps. Gotta show off somehow.
We also have to check the map over on Christos' own side in case he forgot how to get through this dungeon.
I'm in Ice Palace, right? Yes, I'm in Ice Palace. Okay.
I'm gonna be real with you. Most people forget how to
Пытаются,
get through this.
пытаются пошутить о том, что Крису нужно посмотреть на карту. Вдруг он тут заблудился в этом самом подземелье.
What did he get there? I wasn't looking.
You got a tiny shield?
A what?
Tiny shield for Andy?
Got a little tiny shield?
Yeah, he's got a little shield.
A little Moogle with his shield. It's adorable.
Little paper plate.
Oh, at this moment, I'd like to thank everyone that chose Moogle for the
Shout-outs.
sprite choice, because oh my gosh, look at that cute little shield that thing's holding.
Он говорит, комментатор говорит, что спасибо всем, кто выбрал Мугла как вот играбельного персонажа,
Unique sprites.
потому что настолько мило он выглядит с этим щитом.
Something to note that I was going to point out. Both Andy and Chris, for those that don't know, they're really good at randomizer runs, but a large reason why they're so good is because they're really good speedrunners of this game. Pretty much all the categories for both of them, they know how to do. I know Andy knows how to do reverse boss order. They do swordless, no major glitches, pretty much everything, and they have really good times in them too. So randomizer's fun though, because even though skill translates over in terms of execution and movement and all that good stuff that everyone watching GDQ is so used to hearing with the that juicy movement and frames and but also just like I said before, the problem solving skills and everything like that, they excel at them. Chris more than Andy.
All right, so unfortunately for Andy, other than finding a shield, Meyer was a bit of a bust, and you know that's quite a bit of a time loss there. You never know. You always want to. Sometimes you want to make those pendant dungeon gambles.
Well, I think he's going into a good dungeon this time now.
So Chris is coming up on Cold Stare here, and again with the tile thing, sometimes you can get down to Cold Stare and you might not have a fire rod. So one use of bombos though, and boop, all gone.
No shield.
Really wise usage here, so he doesn't have to hammer as much and maybe use the fire rod. Well, though he's okay. Never mind.
There you go.
The fire rod hits Cold Stare like a truck.
Ooh, nice.
A fire truck.
A fire truck. Really well done. Oh, there's the other one. So that medallion won't be used at all.
Yeah, that won't be used at all this entire run.
I'm a big fan of the second to last room in Ganon's tower.
Oh, with the little invisible
using
bridge?
No, like with all the beetles and the spikes and the bumpers.
Yeah.
Just freezing them up there.
Just like getting past all of it and using ether anyways, just to freeze all the beetles.
But he can't because he doesn't have a sword.
I'm just saying what I'm a fan of. It's about me now.
All right. The trek through pod continues. When there's a small key there, that means you can keep going. A lot of times, this dungeon will be immediately bow locked if there's an item in that first chest and you don't have the bow.
Mm-hmm.
So
There are mimics in the right side. That it's one of those classic Zelda rooms where you absolutely have to kill the enemies to move on, and mimics only die. Oh my God, he's
gonna do
cheating
this over.
again.
Absolutely.
So about that bow.
It's not actually cheating. I just hate that he can do it.
Это не читерство, мне просто очень не нравится, что он это
That's what I
делает.
was talking about. Because you need the bow. But no.
More than likely, he's not going to find the bow in the back of the dungeon, though, because of
I
that.
would imagine not.
And now we get to see on Chris's side the blind fight, which sometimes can get a little hectic, especially when you don't have a sword. But you got plenty of health.
And I mean, they
Red
have a
mail.
few magic pots as well to
Yeah.
refill the health.
It's a quick fight. Still looks hectic. But there goes blind.
Well done for having the hammer.
more you play this game, the more you pick up on little things. But what Chris just did there was really actually super cool and super, I guess, high tech, I guess. Technical would be a better word for it. When you move in this game, no matter how lightly you press on a directional pad, Link moves a certain number of pixels. But you can interrupt that with a sword slash or a boot dash tap. So what he was doing while dodging those fireballs is he was moving all over the place, but he was interrupting all the movements with dashes so that he would stop and go in between those little gaps there. So he was super aware of where all those fireballs were going and pressing the dash button in order to stop so that Link didn't go all the way to where the game wanted him to, so that he could dodge all that stuff. Wow. Either that, or he's an idiot and was just tapping A for no reason all over the place and tricked the hell out of him.
Just doing a little dance.
What he is doing, though, right now is heading up to go collect the Pyramid Fairy. He has collected the 5 and 6 crystals, which in the base game you normally need to have those to unlock the big red bomb here at Link's Dark World house. And with that, he's going to be able to figure out what 2 items that fairy is holding for him.
And he wasn't just running into that enemy just for fun. That, as well as using a hook shot, you can set it up so normally you can't dash with the bomb. Once you dash, the bomb just stops and starts. The timer shows up, but you can set up a D-boost to then dash around with the bomb, and you don't lose it.
So Andy just got something. Looks like he got a horde of rupees from the way his rupee count was moving there. So dark rooms in Dark World dungeons can get really fun. So right now he's going through just a maze of short walls with I think either 4 or 5 little dodongos walking around shooting fireballs, and he got through it fine.
And we have our own little tiny shield for Chris. Interesting thing about this, the mails and the shields are still progressive even though there are no swords. That's why we were able to find different small shields in different places in the game.
So if Chris were to go back now to where Andy found his shield, he would get the red shield and vice versa for Andy.
Absolutely.
And also, just shields do kind of play a part in the logic, particularly and mostly in the laser bridge in T-Rock. So if we end up finding like a mirror shield or the third shield at some point, that could be part of the logic.
That would be for these players because it's, at least for speedrunners of the game, kind of second nature at this point and at this skill level to be able to just get around those lasers without taking a hit. It's pretty, even I can do it and I am not good. So it plays a role.
Don't sell yourself so short. You made
not.
it you were in the tournament.
Oh, please.
You had fun.
Again, oh, please. So getting a mirror shield for these runners would more be an indication like I need to go skip the lasers possibly more than it would be, oh, now I can go to the laser bridge. But none of that matters because they don't have the Cane of Samaria yet.
Right. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
But they might not need it.
But they might not need it.
That's like the mantra of this game. They might not need it.
They might not need it.
Chris picking up his heart container and Andy having a little dance with blind. Good enough.
Good enough.
Golf clap.
Could be better.
The only thing we're sure of right now is that we need the bow and the lamp, usually.
Usually.
These players don't seem to care about the lamp.
No.
But
Dark rooms, no
we're past the point of needing a lamp.
what if the lamp is at the magic bat? I'm sorry, the bow. What if the bow is at the magic bat?
Ooh, that's the last hope here. For those of you that are as sadistic as we are, hoping for the worst possible seed, put all your money on bow being at bat.
So now normally, for Andy, you'd be able to, if you had the sword, you can do one of the more fun tricks is the hammer dash or just item dash in general. Without a sword, you just bonk right into these little pegs. So we gotta do the slow route of bonking them each individually.
Like I said, this game is a broken mess.
Big 20. Hype.
Speaking of putting your money down on something, why not put your money down on a charitable donation to GDQ to help prevent cancer? Why not do that? You have any for us to read?
Sure thing. Let's go back to that one I was about to read when Andy had his hammer hype. It was anonymous, and $150 was the amount. Their comment was, please understand there can be one name only for the Breath of the Wild horse. And of course they were donating toward the incentive to name the horse Awata. We also have a $50 donation from OPT Lawyer. They say, gotta give a shout out to the randomizer crew. Good luck to everyone involved. This randomizer got me playing my childhood favorite Zelda game so much more than I ever have before. Thank you all for letting me be a part of the LTTP rando community. And thank you all at GDQ for putting this whole event on. Money goes to not validating the run, because no one really wants to check that chest. Here's $35 from Magius, who says, Andy, Christos, Willard, Carcat, Vitorp, Patty, Desirect, Small Hacker, DT, Filian, and of course all my fellow rando community members. Hey, it's me, Magius. I just had to donate for the race. I mean it. It's gotta be an epic race. Hope Andy hovers Trolldorm too, and Christos maybe can too. I'll see you all in the post-race race. Good luck to all of you. Now please just remember that pedestal is always hype, and let's all hope this isn't a jet seed. From all of us that can't be there, I want to wish you all luck.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Scrivo with a $20 donation said, Scrivo here. Best of luck to my good friends Christos and Andy on their race. We've had some larger donations coming in tonight as well, although every little bit helps. Roy Koopa with $1,000 said, good luck to the Numpty and Pug, but mostly the Numpty. Donation to Christos' choice there.
Good.
Eshwin donated $50 and said, I for one welcome our new randomized overlords. Shout out to the Final Fantasy randomizer community. Let's get some more randomizers in future GDQs. Here's another $1,000 donation from Gavin. And thank you, Gavin. We appreciate it. They said, I want to donate $1 for every Games Done Quick run I've watched as VOD on YouTube. Lost count, rounded up.
All right, so we have Christos checking out the infamous Swamp Palace, which is not in a place that you would think the swamp would be most of the time.
It's more of a sewer palace, but, you know, I'm not going to argue that with anyone.
Don't judge.
It could be a swamp palace if it wants.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Andy making the play into Ice Palace is going to be picking up that hook shot as well as the crystal from Cold Stare. I don't think we've actually seen anything of value in Swamp. A lot of times players like to skip this left side because it does take a bit of time. Chris might be about to realize that he probably should have. But we'll see.
I'm seeing this chest could have everything.
All right, so it paid off pretty well. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was kind of hoping Andy would just like be like, I don't need to check this room, and just leave the hook shot. Because I want him to lose.
Wouldn't it be better to wish for a player to win as opposed to a player to lose?
Not in this case.
Yeah. There's also one thing to note. This fight against Argus is kind of really obnoxious when you don't have a sword. So it's actually pretty much like turn-based. It's a turn-based battle, you know.
Very much so.
Because they're going to be having to pause, swap to hookshot, use it, pause, switch to hammer, use it, pause. You see where I'm going with this.
I notice a pattern, yes.
You know, they can actually hookshot 2 of them at a time. For the advanced strats.
You can't see, but Willard just put his hand up to Vitorp's face and went, rude as heck.
Didn't happen. It's making stuff up again.
I'm pretty sure that happened. I was right there.
How could you see? Yeah, woo! Andy hovered again. Wow.
No, I actually think they were cheering for Christos not getting sucked back down the stairs on the Ice Palace.
He didn't?
He didn't get sucked back
Oh
down the
my.
stairs.
Okay, I'm actually excited about that. What?
So on these right side stairs, when you come up the first time, if you do it just right, you don't get sucked right back down them. But the camera gets messed up normally, and you'll climb up the stairs most of the way. The screen transitions, and it comes back, and it just sends you right back down them, and you can't do anything about it.
The game's broken.
And a mess. Ooh. Welcome to GDQ at night.
After dark.
Look at the intense concentration. I bet they don't even know that the lights went out. Anyone bring popcorn? Arr. Why you be hook-shotting me, puffs? Put your hammer away. It be me, Argus, holder of whatever crystal it is that I have.
Seen a little bit of these advanced strats you were talking
See,
about.
it's advanced. It's getting 2 puffs at a time. Does he go for the trick?
Aw,
Getting beat by the menu
losing
there.
a few seconds there. Can't have that.
Oh, this was the pausing and unpausing you were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't it fun?
no.
There's trade-offs to every mode. This is the one trade-off to swordless.
The one trade-off. I can't think of any other trade-off to not having a sword throughout the entire video game. Just the Argus fight.
Just the Argus fight, yes.
Good lord.
And there are a few options that you can use to finish off the second phase of Argus. Oh, wow! Oh! King of Samaria. Oh. I think that's actually a bad thing, because that just opens up a bunch of extra stuff you probably don't want to go do. But who knows? Well, I mean, as long as we don't find that ice rod, you know, we can still see that bow on Laser Bridge.
Yes, at this point, Crystal probably he hasn't gone into pod yet, has he?
No, I don't believe
think
he
so, no.
has. No.
So he'll probably make the play for pod. Just to,
Maybe.
because if the bow's in there and that's all he needs, you might as well do it.
It's true.
That's true.
But nope.
Oh, we're going to Meyer. He's going to clear Meyer with the King of Samaria there.
Because everyone loves to try and kill Vitreous with the hammer and no bow.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a toughie. But did we see both the items in there on Andy's side?
I don't know. I'm not watching it.
We saw
Привет,
shield
чатик.
and...
Добро пожаловать на финишную прямую Games Done Quick.
Maybe.
Я так понимаю, Агман уже ушел.
Man, if only we paid attention.
И напоминаю, что сейчас мы играем в The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past Randomizer, где все подземелья, все предметы в рандомном порядке. Я не знаю, наверное, вам уже объяснил Агман, как это все работает, но это очень веселая штука на самом деле.
I think he'll start off with the fire rod as opposed to hammering.
Но он отвалился, не ушел, окей. Шутка в том, что этот вариант прохождения Зельды очень жесткий, потому что это как играть в Айзека. То есть надо подстраиваться на спидран на ходу. У вас выпадают разные предметы рандомные, и вам надо подстраиваться, потому что вам выпало. Это очень интересный вариант. Сейчас этот рандомайзер очень популярен, потому что, ну, типа, добавляет рандомности, тестирует спидранеров, их навыки и так
So
далее.
as it stands right now, we have Christos one entire dungeon ahead of Andy.
In terms of completion, Christos doesn't know what's in pod though, so if he makes the play for pod without getting the bow first, then that's going to lose him some time over whatever Andy does, considering he's done.
Кристофер не знает, что он будет находиться
But he went to Fire
в...
instead.
Right.
So he might go up to Turtle Rock.
Как он
next.
называется-то?
Maybe. As long
Под
as he doesn't find the bow
в
before
ящике.
pod,
И если он сейчас сыграет... Ну, в общем,
pretty much anyone's
так
game.
раньше в
He does end up
Legend
finding the
of Zelda
bow
все знали, что это упадали, было достаточно легко проходить эту игру, ну, спидранеру. И решили как-то немножко разнообразить геймплей. Сделать все выпадения предметов рандомными, вот и все.
That was really cool with the Cane of Samaria there.
What happened?
Well, he did a Samaria dash, which kicks the Samaria block way off into the distance, and then he exploded it when it was in the exact right spot to be able to kill both the blue Bari and change the crystal switch at the same time.
He's a fancy, fancy boy, that Christos.
Stealing that.
К сожалению, так как я врубаюсь под конец этой гонки, ну
So
как
this
под
is,
конец, в
this is
середине,
a
немножко
good time
проблематично.
for some donations, probably.
И как раз самое время для
Going
пожертвований.
through what the other player's done.
Absolutely.
Right, right, okay. Yeah, and here's one that it could give you something to discuss. I'm sure you were going to cover later on anyway, but Anonymous donated $250, said, "Good luck, Christos and Andy. I'm hooked on these randomizer games, and A Link to the Past is the best. Another $250 if the big key is in chest 11." So I'm sure you'll talk about big key placement as we get closer to Ganon's Tower. Let's see. In the meantime, more donations. Wolfman 2000 with a
Еще время для
$250
пожертвований.
donation. It says, "Everyone, I've been looking forward to this run all event, and I hope you are all hyped for it as well. I'm donating $1 for every possible item location except one. My donation goes to our runners being nice Hylians and leaving Moldorm's last possessions alone. If we wanted to be thieves, we would be playing Link's Awakening instead."
Да, клево, что они сделали такой экранчик, который показывает, какие предметы уже выпали, какие боссы побеждены и так далее. Очень полезный экран и помогает сосредоточиться, где что, понять, где что есть.
And JDW42 with a $1,300 donation. I wanted to fit this one in for sure. JDW said, "Pedestal hype may be dead, but I'll donate another $25 for each time AGDQ shoots blue balls. Thanks, JDW."
AGDW говорит, сдавать $25, когда что-то будет там стрелять синими шарами. Видишь, что меня не слишком тихо слышно. К сожалению, кстати, на концовку, наверное, со мной никого не будет, но спасибо всем комментаторам, кто продержался так долго. Модераторам особое спасибо тоже за работу с чатом.
And this donation goes to the choice of whichever runner reaches go mode first. Thank you for the $200 donation there, Der Heinian.
Это еще не конец в любом случае, поэтому не расходитесь. У нас ждет еще достаточно 3 хайповые вещи. Это Super Mario World гонка, потом Super Drum World, это что-то вроде Кайза, и The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
He's got one more room of darkness left.
Oh yeah, but it's a joke compared to the other ones.
Две комнаты тьмы, но они достаточно легкие.
A block on a switch he couldn't see and
He killed
Просто надо
15
увернуться.
monsters. They don't know this.
it's crazy, man.
Просто увернуться. Говорит, темная комната достаточно легкая. Не надо увернуться всего лишь от большого количества ловушек, поставить бомбу на невидимую кнопку, на кнопку, которую он не видит, и убить 15 врагов. Пф, да, какая разница. Я сейчас прошел Breath of the Wild. В смысле, таз будет? Мара, подожди, таз же был. Еще таз будет.
Alright, so Christos is about to enter one of the most original bosses in the Zelda franchise.
Сейчас будет
Literal
сражаться
bunch
одним
of
из...
eyeballs.
Сражаться самым оригинальным боссом всей франшизы
Very
с кучей
unique.
глаз.
No other Zelda game features any boss with
Ни в одной
eyeballs
другой
that are
Зельде
in
не было
one.
такого количества
I'm pretty sure.
глаз
There's not a
на
single
одном
other one.
I can't
экране.
think of any. One of my favorite bosses from the game. It's a bunch of little eyeballs and one big old.
По драму будет таз,
It's
прикольно.
super scary.
Speaking of super scary, having to use the hammer in this fight. I mean, he does have red tunic,
Oh.
but he's gonna be opting to use that blue potion just to extend his life a little bit longer. This is a tough fight.
Это сложная
usually
битва.
you want a sword, obviously, but just
Обычно
a
вам
bow in
хочется
general would be
меч,
nice too, but
но у нас
who knows?
или хотим
only
лук, но у нас ни
trade-off.
меча, ни
Maybe he
лука
could be
нету.
holding the bow.
А, да, ни лука, ни меча нет. Обидно. Блин, а так прикольно, кстати, смотри, как они сражаются с ним без
Yeah, for this
меча.
fight, you just kinda wanna just be patient.
Кто знает, кто помнит, что они за предмет в самом начале выбили вместо меча? Напомните, пожалуйста.
Oh.
This is getting close.
All right.
And now the hard part.
walking up into the goo there.
Oh, jeez.
Chris, don't you do this to me.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Найс, ну прошел, хорош.
But he does get that sweet, sweet red pendant.
И он получил, все таки он победил босса. И он такой, и получил это как красное ожерелье, все таки такой голос сначала, такой супер крик недовольства.
Losing a bit of time there. Who knows? Maybe Andy might go back and kill Vitreous, but we do see Andy actually going back into Swamp to go, I presume, to check the left side or big chest or whatever. So
Всегда стоит начинать
I don't
спидранить,
know
если
if there's that
хочется.
much of a time loss. We still got a lot of race left ahead of us.
It's
And
at this point, it quite literally depends on who finds the bow.
Yes.
That's where we are right now. Is who's going
Сейчас очень
to
сильно
go
зависит от того, кто
to
найдет.
the right place, the right time to find the bow.
It could be
Чтобы
absolutely
сейчас
anywhere
все
there's
реально
sculpture
зависит от того,
on
кто найдет лук, вот и все. Найдет лук, тот и будет вырваться вперед.
now I would assume Chris is going to be probably making the Turtle Rock play. He still does need to check, hookshot cave now that he has a hookshot. But you wouldn't go up here just for one spot, one little spot. I mean, there are, a good amount of chests in that cave, so.
Yes. Forward.
Они, знаете, находятся, в принципе, пещеры с большим количеством сундуков, и нам надо
He's absolutely gonna go into
как
Turtle
можно
Rock.
больше
His eyes, they're red.
пещер, где сундуки есть, ходить. Потому что, чтобы выпадали нужные предметы.
So another fun thing with blocks that we saw from both players.
Тут
in
Swordless
Mire
Race.
and,
Я не обратил
Chris
внимания,
is
что
now in this cave.
без меча гонга.
Basically, when blocks are
У нас
moving,
вообще меча нет, клево.
in especially this version, specifically this version of the game, they just don't work right. They're real bad. Chris just hook shotted through blocks to hit another block that was static, and then
Какие,
block that
эти,
was
как
next to a
его...
block, he pushed through that block, and then
Круг
ended
кошка
up
тут очень
inside
плохо
the block
работает в
and
этой игре,
walked out
поэтому
to get through
мы
it.
специально
Blocks are just
увидели, как
crazy
Крис,
to
возможно,
see
летал
them
сейчас сквозь
mire.
камни.
They were
Это нормально.
pushing blocks and shooting fire rods through it, or at least trying. I think someone messed it up at one point, but a lot of fun little things in 1.0 specifically that you can do to just save a little bit of time. I don't know. It's a fun little thing here and there with the 1.0 glitches.
It's fun learning all the tiny little glitches. They are just, little tiny little time saves.
Весело учить всякие маленькие гличи, потому что это постоянные таймсейвы.
Hovering, we don't talk about that.
Bomb
It's
jump,
hovering.
actually, you can do.
Не знаю, показывали нет технику или нет, когда можно взорвать себя в этой игре с помощью бомбы перелетать через большие пропасти. Очень сложный трюк, кстати, в этой игре.
Got like a virtual console version of just the normal game. You can go to Ice Palace and learn how to do that bomb jump. Save yourself a ton of time playing through the game casually.
Rupee Horde collected.
The heart of rubies.
Totally worth it.
We just saw a moonwalk off of that. It's really nice to always see one of those.
All right, we're getting this Turtle Rock play.
Here's the big play. The bow is in here. That would, as far as we know.
Does it look like Andy's going for the same play right now?
Oh man.
I think he is.
He's going right up to Turtle Rock. Oh! And he's out. He's out.
There it is.
He's out of the dungeon.
I believe we have entered go mode.
Well, I'm pretty sure we might still need a link.
Nah.
No, okay.
Why is it always the bow? The bow seems to be like the most popular, like last item.
I'm pretty
in
sure.
Corp. What did you do?
No, that's perception bias.
Okay.
See, I think the big thing here is going to be that Chris doesn't have the bug net.
That actually could play a huge thing in the final part of the game.
And Chris is awful at using the hammer to hit fireballs back at Aghanim. I've seen it with my own eyes.
It's actually really tough to do that fight with just the hammer
It's
when you have
really hard.
3 Aghanims shooting stuff at you from different directions and trying to reflect 1 or 2 of them back at a time.
Could you imagine if a race of this caliber came down to a bug net?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
You have my attention.
Well, if I were just sitting up here, the three of us, like, what is the worst possible thing that can happen to these runners? Let's talk about it and hope with all our might that it occurs.
Let's kind of our job as commentators.
We're helping the audience understand all the possibilities.
So now Andy roughly, what, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes behind Chris, picking up the bow
Я
there.
говорил выключенный микрофон. I am
Well, I
fucking
don't
great.
think, Andy
Короче,
has to check
ему нужен
either
сачок.
to come through it.
That was gonna be my point, is that
Кристоферу, на
he's
самом деле,
gonna
чтобы
pick
в
up the
конце
bow
пройти, потому что он очень плохо работает с
Chris
молотом.
did.
Сейчас они обсуждают, какие самые
Chris has
ужасные
to
моменты
go
могут
through a
произойти
lot
в
of
игре.
pod in order to get all the keys he needs. He needs to find the big key, etc., etc. Andy's already taken key to pod, so he can sprint all the way in there. He can
У Энди уже
basically
нашел
go
достаточно
to
количество
the end of
ключей,
the
поэтому
dungeon at this
у него
point,
нет
so
проблем. Может просто прийти
depending on
до
how
конца
long it takes
подземелья, но
Chris
у
to
него не
find
хватает
the big
предметов.
key and another key here, Andy might actually have the lead.
I think you might be right on this one.
That's
And
big.
he has the bug net.
Andy has the bug net.
И Энди выпал
This
только
could even just
что
come down to
сачок.
G tower route diversions, because I mean, there's the big key, but you know, Chris still needs to get a small key, so he might opt to. Yeah,
Кристофера уже есть большой ключ, но ему не хватает маленького.
Patty was talking about earlier, so we do get to see that.
And he's gonna find a small key there too.
Yeah, I
there-
believe
there
there
are
was
two of
two on that side, so.
Well, Chris is a smart cookie, and he knows a lot about the logic of this. Generally speaking, 100% of the time, there's at least one small key on that side.
And the nice thing is he can just grab it and just go straight up, because that's the way to Helmistar.
This
We're
is
getting in
Wow.
sync.
Andy takes the lead.
И Энди вырывается вперед.
Andy's in the
Неожиданно.
lead by half of a room right now.
Он впереди на полкомнаты, к слову, Энди. Неожиданно он вырвался вперед от Кристофера.
Andy's in the lead by a full room right now.
Теперь на полную комнату.
So, I mean,
Ребята,
from
это
here on out,
финишная
it's all
прямая.
execution until we get into G tower, then it's all.
Пока мы
chance
дойдем,
again. Looking
пока
for
мы
that
дойдем
key.
до, не дойдем до
That's
башни,
what
сейчас
makes
все будет
these-
зависеть от
that's what makes these
экзекуции
so fun,
обоих
though, is
игроков.
that it's a lot of skill and a lot of, you know, like I've been saying throughout, it's a lot of problem solving on the fly and routing in your head while executing. But all of these, it comes down a lot to who's going to go left and who's going to go right at the very end, and it keeps it exciting because if they go different ways, ooh,
Oh,
Never know what could
absolutely.
happen.
it's a fun time.
Yeah.
So I do know
Так,
Chris
невидимая
has
комната.
generally recently been
Ну,
doing
не
the right
невидимая,
side gamble more
темная
often
комната.
than not, even though it's mathematically the wrong choice every single time. So we'll see what happens when with Andy in this particular case as well.
It's almost similar to like a roguelike speed run in a way.
Да,
where
то есть это реально
you
как
don't
спидран
really know
рогалика,
what's coming up exactly,
где вы не совсем
but
знаете,
you're
что к вам
really
придет в руки.
freaking good at it.
Но
So
вы
you can
очень
do it
хороши в
quickly
этой
no
игре.
matter what happens.
И вы можете построиться, неважно, что произойдет.
All right, let's see who's got the better Helmistar King. It's only 7 hits to the face.
Всего нужно 7 ударов по лицу с
17
помощью
hits with
молота.
You were close.
I rounded down.
To 7?
Он говорит, вообще 17. Оу, ну я это сократил до 7.
And
7?
with the bow and
17?
silvers, just a one shot.
Fun little thing about Helmasaur.
А с помощью лука это
and his
ваншот,
helmet.
кстати, да.
Um,
Потом, когда
if
снимаете маску.
Helmasaur- he didn't do it for either player. But Helmasaur has an attack where he shoots out a fireball from his mouth and it splits into 3 fireballs and those fireballs split into 4 fireballs each. But if he shoots out that fireball or there's fireballs on the screen at all and you break his helmet off,
They all disappear.
they all disappear
Я рассказал,
because
что у
the
этого босса есть
helmet
атака, когда он
becomes
отстреливается
a
под
bazillion
огнем.
different sprites,
Этот
and
огненный
they
шар
have
потом
priority
распределяется
over
на
the
кучу
fireballs.
других шаров
So
и
the
так далее, и
helmet
так далее, и так
appears
далее.
as a bunch of different
Пока
sprites
все секунды
breaking
не
off
будет
with
в огненных
fireballs.
шарах. Но фишка в том, что если
So
он
it's a
стреляет
pretty
с
good
помощью
strategy
такого,
sometimes to get
используя
16
атаку,
hits on
и после этого
Helmasaur's
сломать ему,
helmet,
во время этого
and he
сломать ему маску,
stops and starts charging
то
up a
все шары
fireball.
и исчезнут, потому
Wait for like a
что
second or two. Fireball comes
у
out, hit him last time, then you
спрайта
don't have to
маски
worry about it.
есть приоритет, и спрайт маски не может исчезнуть.
Deal with that at all, 'cause he never even used that attack. And also fortunate being able to just immediately do pod, mirror, and then finish off Eastern Palace and grab that last crystal. Can't believe it. After all this, you know, we're almost an hour and a half in, and our players are a room behind.
Come on, Chris, you got this, buddy.
We're not playing favorites, right?
Давай, Крис, ты можешь это сделать. Он такой, мы же не играем, мы же не болеем за кого-то играем. Верно? Ты молчал долго. Нет.
I don't know. That got picked on the mic, but someone said, "Let's go, Andy," in the crowd, and I just had to. I couldn't help
Не знаю,
myself.
кто-то сказал, по-моему, из толпы, вперед, Энди. И это был точно не я. Просто мой микрофон решил
Players
зацепить эту
definitely
фразу.
have plenty of arrows to get through the end of this game. I'm not sure if they'll be able to complete it with 46 and 54.
У Энди еще достаточно стрел до конца игры.
To the
У Кристофера,
pedestal
возможно, не хватит количества.
with all three medallions, or whatever the heck it is you collect.
They got 3 medallions.
I know, Willard. Sometimes I say things that aren't correct. I can't help it.
We'll let this one slide.
So you know what's great
What?
about this whole thing?
What's great about this
And
whole
what I'm it's just tickling me.
Okay.
It doesn't really have anything to do with the gameplay.
Okay, this
but
is important.
Oh, Andy's taking me to dinner after this, and he can't hear what I say.
Знаете,
I'm still gonna have a ride
самый
to
важный
dinner.
момент, ну, который связан с этой игрой, говорит один из комментаторов, то что Энди позже отведет меня на обед. И он не слышит, что
It's tickling me.
я это говорю. Поэтому, когда он посмотрит этот стрим, он меня обязательно отведет на обед.
So,
На
super
ужин.
tough Armos fight with silver arrows.
Очень сложная битва с серебряными стрелами была.
But he got there in the end.
Осталось по 2 босса.
They have
А,
no
нет, осталось
idea
2
that they're
босса
this
у
close.
Оуэна и
No
3
idea.
босса у Энди. Я, кстати, не знаю, насколько близки они друг к другу вообще.
So we have some people already shouting out in the room where they think the big key is going to be.
So we like to play.
Люди уже кричат, где может быть
We
большой
like
ключ.
to play a little game.
Мы хотели поиграть в большую игру.
Call your shots.
We like to
Скажите,
play
где
a
будет
little
большой
game.
ключ?
There are 22 chests.
Не, осталось 22 ящика.
One of those chests is gonna have a big key in it.
И у одного из этих ключей будет большой ключ.
Hopefully.
I feel like
Надеюсь.
I feel like I'm in The Price is Right now. Everyone's
Такое ощущение, что мы сейчас в
everyone's
шоу
calling out numbers, thinking
«Цена
like
верная».
saying what-
$1.
Мол. Все
saying
пытаются
what the
угадать, где
number
будет большой
chest the
ключ.
big key is gonna be in Ganon's Tower in a little while here.
I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? What are you feeling tonight?
I'm honestly hoping because they're trying to go through this game as fast as possible. Maybe somewhere after the tile room.
Oh my gosh.
I'd like to see another Armos fight. That one was too fast. I missed it.
I see what you did there. It's clever. I want it to be on the torch.
On the torch.
But someone goes full right.
Skill-based speedrun.
Ah,
Actually, yeah, that's
they're really
that's a good
close.
idea.
Could be on the right side. Those two chests would be nice and
Yeah. Most.
Let's let it come down to execution. Not.
Yeah, let's let it, because we have control over where it's gonna be.
I'm using my commentator powers.
Да, давайте уже... Пусть они пройдут уже по скиллу, а не по рандому. О, да, конечно, потому что мы же можем
The enemy
сказать,
outside
где будет
of
этот
Ganon's
дурацкий
Tower.
ключ. Да, 100%.
My favorite number is 19, so I always just go for whatever the 19th item they check is.
Моя любимая этот номер это 19, поэтому каким бы 19, какой сундук не был 19, там и будет ключ. Большой.
Alrighty, here we go. Moment of
Так, и
truth.
поехали.
both
It looks
going
like
right.
they're both playing the same route.
One.
Our piece.
Первый,
Small
второй,
key.
Count along
маленький
with Patty.
ключ.
Will we see divergence here?
Counting with Patty.
Yep, we have our divergence.
Here we go. Well, you got
Three.
your key.
But it's not big enough.
Да, оба получили ключ, но недостаточно большой.
Well, nobody ever does. Tile rooms always last. That's just
That,
a
that would also
gentleman's
be
agreement. That's just the rule.
skill-based if it were the tile room because they'd both end there at the same time.
That's true.
It's true. Wow, Andy not even hovering over the gaps.
Энди даже не использует хавр
Chris
через
dodging some,
штуки. О, Энди получил большой ключ.
5?
Это был пятый
Yes,
сундук.
that was 5.
If you guess number 5,
Congratulations.
pat yourself on the back.
If you didn't, sucks to suck.
Если угадали,
This is good,
поздравляем,
though. Chris
похлопать
is
себя
at
по
least
спине. Если
going to
нет,
be- he can
отстойно
get up
вам.
in here, which means he'll be going back to the left side as soon as he picks up that key.
But how much time is he going to be able to save going up the gauntlet? Who's got the better execution here on out? That's all it is. I mean, we're not going to be checking any more chests along the way. Or are we?
I don't know. Chris could be looking for that bug net.
Крис, возможно, ищет тот самый сачок, который он никак не может найти.
And he can hope that the bug net's in the final chest in the game.
И он может даже найти сачок в самом последнем
Have to check one more check
сундуке игры.
as it
Был бы
stands
отстойно.
right now.
It looks like we are going to be.
О, Кристофер тоже достал большой ключ. Найс.
It looks like we're going to be checking what is commonly referred to as the validation chest. So the runs will be validated.
So they say.
So they say.
I thought killing Ganon was all the validation you needed.
No comment.
Okay.
Since both of them are climbing and we've discussed the chest, I just wanted to mention a donation here. Our friends at the Yeti have chimed in once again with
И
$12,000.
неожиданно Йети задонатили $12,000. Найсу.
Their comment, Yoshis are animals, right? Well, it wouldn't be a GDQ event if I didn't restore balance to a race like that. So they have balanced out safe kill the Yoshis. Can't wait to watch Grand Pooh Bear Rex Super
Василий
Grand
убить
World
Йоши?
2 with
Что?
Sky
На что
Bill's
теперь
commentary.
донатит?
It's gonna be a good time. Don't miss it. Hummus. Thank you, Yeti.
Они серьезно голосуют за то, чтобы назвать лошадь Брюса Ивата? Вы шутите?
I love you too.
I really hope that the mic picked up what they said, because otherwise everyone at home is just going to hear Willard just closely get to the mic. I love you too.
You know, I really kind of feel left out that both of you have said it now, so I love you too.
A lot of love in this community, no doubt
Очень
about
много
it.
любви в этой комьюнити.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Там Save for Kill the Baby Yoshi с донатой, окей. Я просто не знал, что это. Забавно.
But he's going to get through all right.
It looked like he was trying to preserve his magic. He does have half magic and opting to use the hammer instead of using
Soft
the
lock,
fire.
soft lock, soft lock. Come on, Andy.
It's not
Soft
gonna happen. It's not
Давай,
gonna
Энди,
happen.
засофтлочься,
It's not
Энди,
gonna happen.
засофтлочься.
Wait for it, wait for it. No.
Okay.
Нет, это не произойдет.
So that door to get
Yeah.
into the room with that staircase Andy just went up.
Та дверь, через которую
the
проходишь,
torches-
Энди.
if one
Если бы,
torch goes out,
если
and that
один
door
из,
closes on the exact same moment that
если
you go up
факел
the staircase
гаснет
in the
ровно
middle
в
of
тот
the
момент,
room,
когда Энди заходит в
every
комнату,
single sprite in the game despawns,
то все спрайты в
which
игре
means there's no
диспаунятся, что
mold
значит,
arm, which means there's no validation chest, which means
что
not
нету
only
ничего в этой
can
игре.
normal people
То есть, грубо
not
говоря,
get
просто игра
across the
софтлочится.
gap, 'cause there's nothing to hookshot, but also no validate.
Moldorm was giving him a chance there.
And the runners have been informed they will be validated.
Oh, he did it anyway. You know he was gonna do that.
Have you guys ever thought about how cool Andy is?
О, это был, кстати, флаттер. Прикольно.
Right? He is so cool.
Вы, ребят, когда задумались, насколько Энди крутой? Он такой крутой. Говорит там, я не знаю, комментаторам уже реально нечего
Alright,
обсуждать.
so we're
Они
coming up on AGDQ
просто
here.
фанятся.
Andy using the bug net.
И Энди будет использовать сачок.
Magical.
There's one.
He's
The only problem with
Так,
using the
первый
bug
был.
net here
Единственная
is
проблема,
that it takes forever for the bug net to go around.
то,
whereas the
что
hammer is
сачок
very quick
бесконечно требует это какого
Well, that's
очень долгое время,
we're halfway
чтобы
there.
крутиться
Oh,
вокруг
man.
вас.
Surprised he's not using
У
the
молота
bug net
молот
dash.
побыстрее, но это
Hilarious.
Кристофер
Oh,
еще
there's
должен
a
добежать.
double, which is impressive only in this mode.
О, вау, типа два выстрела, что невероятно только для этого
So-
режима.
We haven't really talked about it too much, but the race isn't over
Мы еще пока об этом не
Oh,
говорили,
absolutely
но
not.
гонка еще не закончена.
without a sword.
Генна
is
без
one of the most
меча.
ridiculous,
Одна из самых
stupid
безумных и
things.
глупых вещей, которые можно только придумать в этой игре.
I don't think Chris was too happy with that.
Well, I think the first iteration, we're going to just put a sword in that last chest in the game.
Я смотрю, у нас остались в чате
And
только
then we
самые
said,
стойкие, да.
why? Let's
Чё,
just
до
make it
конца,
so you
ребятки?
can use the hammer to kill Ganon.
Что там было спайси, барбекю, буррито, чего?
Ganon saying something a little morbid there at the beginning.
Да, я что ничего не помню, что там было написано про спайси,
And of course,
барбекю,
the
буррито.
hammer basically works like a tempered sword, which, you know,
24
24
tempered sword slashes.
oh wow, and taking advantage of that top right spawn, that's like the perfect place for him to be.
Идеальное место, чтобы атаковать Генна там было у Энди.
Did he get the 12?
It's 24.
It's 12 and 12. 12 plus 12, 24.
Yep,
I
he is
don't think
Base
that's
three.
no, that's not right.
That's not
Check your math again.
Man.
Crystal's getting kind of unlucky with the third Aghanim energy ball.
Yeah, we're having to see the hammer strats on him, and it is definitely tougher.
Oh,
as
it's
opposed to having the bow.
way.
Getting the angle right really is the tough part there.
Ooh, there's a double.
Nice double.
A much more impressive double from Chris.
And then
No doubt. All right, 1 silver. Are we getting a double? There's a double.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
This could be it.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Все, Энди прошел, что ли?
Sorry, Patty.
А, прости, Пэдди. Ну, походу, Энди прошел, да, он победил
It is
Геннона
a
с помощью
sad,
дабл
sad
выстрелов.
day here at AGDQ.
Это очень грустный день на ГДК.
That was a
Нет, это
great
был
race.
невероятный спидран. На самом деле, вообще рандомайзер, спидран рандомайзера очень веселая штука.
Taking game 1.
taking game 1 of the finals here.
Taking game
this
1
best
of
of
1.
3.
И все,
That was cute.
конец.
You guys are adorable.
Ждем, пока
All right,
Кристофер,
now that they can hear what I'm
Кристос
saying, I have to
допройдет.
be a little more cognizant of that. Yeah, I bet you do. Oh.
Напомню, что проходить так очень сложно.
Gotta wait it out.
I believe in his ability to dodge fire bats. I really do.
Oh.
Oh, you gotta be quicker.
Он не успел, его ваншот.
That's swordless Ganon for you.
И вот вам Геннон без меча. Я не знаю, слышали вы этот звук или нет, но там 420 эмоджи.
Thank you for that.
Рожок был.
I always keep my air horn with me.
Геннон там сначала говорит про барбекю буррито, а потом он какой 420 эмоджи делает. Я расскажу все перед Breath of the Wild.
Ooh,
This
there's
is
a
a
good
really
spawn
good
right
spot.
there.
Yeah.
Хороший спаун.
Getting that nice lineup that just will constantly knock you right back against the wall.
If
Not
you know,
left or right.
if you notice there, he actually sat there for a second. That's because the separate phases of Ganon's attacks don't start until he starts twirling his trident. So there's no point in hitting him with a hammer.
Exactly.
Because he knew he was already done with that phase. Lots and lots of tiny little things that you got to think about when playing this game.
Очень много маленьких вещей, которые стоит думать, пока играете.
But some people, you know,
Сражайтесь
at
с
this
Геноном.
point in the race, you know, let's say it's like a 2.5-hour speed for you, and you're like, I just want to wail on him. I just
Just keep hitting him with it.
Just keep hitting him anyways. That's what most people do. So by this point, most people have been playing for 2.5 hours to an hour and 40 minutes. So they're
Да,
a
к этому
little
моменту
frustrated.
обычно, когда спидранят рандомайзеры, люди играют уже 2,5 часа. И типа, уже к этому моменту просто надо бить Геннона. Все, у меня других вариантов нет, надо просто бить Геннона.
pretty big deal.
Ooh, he got away.
Go for the silver list.
Sneaky piggy got away.
Do the silver list.
Oh, so close.
Был так близко, он не смог нанести двойной урон с серебряных
More to
стрел.
go. Did he? No. Hammer.
When hammering up hitboxes, itty bitty.
Когда вы используете молот вверх, то хитбоксы немножко неприятные. Все, он прошел. Поздравляем Криса.
A big congrats to Andy for the win there. That was crazy, crazy good gameplay from both people.
Безумный геймплей от двух игроков. На самом деле, это был очень крутой рандомайзер.
GG, guys.
Надеюсь, что вам понравилась гонка рандомная по Зельде.
A big thank you to GDQ staff for letting randomizer in.
Спасибо GDQ
Seriously.
организаторам, кто разрешили гонку по рандомайзеру здесь, потому что это супер так как рандомайзер, это вещь, которая непонятно как закончится. И очень стрёмно на самом деле.
It's so fun just to sit down with all your buddies
Так
and
весело на самом деле, просто сидеть с своими друзьями и
it's
веселиться.
so fun just to sit down with all your buddies and do a rando race.
И просто
Super
делать
easy.
рандомную гонку.
Yeah, so find us on Discord and come play
Найди
the
нас на
randomizers with us
Дискорде,
anytime you like.
когда
There's
хотите.
so many different randomizers out there that are fun to play.
Там столько разных
See you all there
рандомайзеров,
soon.
которые весело играть.
Thank you to our
У нас не
runners.
только по Legend of Zelda есть.
All right, and,
Спасибо раннерам.
again, a huge congrats to both runners, especially
Поздравляем
Andy for
обоим
winning. That's
обоих
Andy and
раннеров,
Christos
а
Owen.
и Энди
You
за
can find them
победу.
both on their Twitch channels
Вы их
there on
обоих можете
screen.
найти на своих
They play a lot of
соответствующих Twitch-каналах.
randomizer.
Они играют очень
Oh,
много
well, they're not on
рандомайзеров.
screen anymore, but
И они больше не
Andy
на
and
экране.
Christos Owen. And again, a big thank you to both of you guys
И большое
for
спасибо вам
being
всем,
here
ребятки,
on commentary and letting me
за
be
комментарии и
on
так далее.
commentary.
Thank you, Patty.
Vitor, Willard J. Bradley, Willard J. Bradley. I'm Patty. And
Я
then, of
Пати.
course, our two trackers keeping track of the items the whole time.
И
Yeah,
так
shouts
далее.
to In the Name of DT and Philion, and as well, once again, to
Фига там
all
вода и намка
randomizer
прайс-пак не
community.
тухлый.
Come play.
Thank you,
you guys
everyone.
so much for watching and stick around for more
Байт на
awesome speed
пожертвование.
games.
Breath of the Wild прайс-сет тоже неплохой.
Yeah,
Вот Breath of the
one more
Wild сет я бы
time
хотел
for our
себе.
commentators and the trackers. And of course the runners. I mean, we already gave them a standing ovation here though, but I am Prolix. Thank you so much for continuing to tune in here
Супер
to
Драйв Ворос.
awesome
Спасти ли
games done
маленьких
quick
Йоши или убить маленьких
2018
Йоши?
as we continue
Лучше
to
спасти
gather
Йоши
your
лайф.
donations,
Йоши это топ.
benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. If you're out there and you go by Valentari, stay tuned for a moment. I have a $15 donation from Gameageddon54 who says, "My husband, Valentari, has been waiting for this run all week and has no idea I'm going to donate during it. Hope the run is really awesome. Thank you, Gameageddon." Also had one last donation
И
talking
еще
about
одно
the pedestal.
пожертвование.
Sean Anosuke donated $25 and said, "Been watching and loving GDQ all week. Been waiting to donate during the Link to the Past randomizer. Huge shout outs to Andy and the Pug Farm. Thanks for always being so helpful. Runners, I'll donate an additional $1 per bonk, $2 per Ganon's Tower pre-big key chest, $10
На
per
крест
death,
никогда не
and
собирали
an
на
extra
ГДК.
$100 for